Good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Holy cow, man! What a sell-off we had on the in the markets last night. And I got to watch pretty good about it. It was on the charts, kind of messing around with the different platforms and stuff like that. It was quite the sell-off there. This I mean, that's pretty damn aggressive. It's about a almost a 700 point sell-off, maybe close to 1,000 points. All right, so now what's the game plan for today? Hopefully first order business is hopefully some better trading than yesterday. Did have a really nice trade last night. Took a short on the ES, and I think I made close to 5 points on that trade. I don't know if it's gonna still show up here or not. Oh yeah, it's right here. Sorry, one of my ears is clogged up and I'm trying to yawn to get this unclogged here. This was my short from last night, 4.5 points. Did go into some drawdown though on that one. I think I was in like an instant 4-point drawdown, and then we consolidated, and then we had the nice dump. And again, this is just in hindsight, but my target on this trade was actually right. Let me get my annotation tool up here. I was actually talking to some buddies last night while I was in this trade. We're all on FaceTime. This was my target down here. This was my original target, had my TP set right there. Knew that we were going to get some reaction based on some unbalanced volume right here on this move to the upside. You can see these wicks right here. And that was my kind of conservative target. And when we were about a point away, I went to break even. So I knew the distance from here to here on the ES could very easily get retraced, which it almost did, but it would not have hit my my break even stop there. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. Would have been a nice 10-pointer. All right, so what do we have brewing? All right, let's just kind of take a look at the bigger picture here. We obviously blew through some, you know, the ES seems to be respecting the bands extremely well. Obviously the NQ, my daily bands, you know, we would get consolidation in the bands, but really no rejection. Now remember, these are daily, these are not the weekly bands. But with that sell-off yesterday, it was very, very aggressive. So these are the new daily bands for this morning. So the first order of unbalanced volume for sellers is up here sitting at the 3271s to the 3226. Gold did tap into our daily band here this morning. Did have a nice reaction off of that. We do have another band here in gold at the 4198 to the 4187. And then for the ES I really just have two daily bands. Kind of hard to give you guys something a little bit more scalpable, but the 7513 to the 7495 above us, and below us at the 7353. to the 73.33. So all these can be found in Discord every single morning, about an hour and a half before the market opens. Keith, good morning. Joe, good morning. J Loves, Kevin, good morning. Give me 1 sec. All right, and then some updates on the deep charts. So I did end up purchasing yesterday the full version with the DOM, the deep DOM. I have not installed the deep DOM yet, just based on some advice that I was getting from customer service, which again has got me a little weirded out. Again, I don't like to hear that type of news after I make a pretty significant investment in a platform. But so what do we got going on? So now we've got the full version of deep charts. So I'll show you guys some of the tools. I need to make some adjustments on this chart to get the deep trades on here. Now there are some limitations that I currently have because the data feed that I am currently running on is a blue sky, which you guys can see up here, blue sky evaluation that I took out to get a license for deep charts. Now the full version, I did the full version and the deep DOM, so I'll be able to get the heat map and all of that. But there's kind of a big but. What I ended up doing, we've been talking about Iron Beam on the channel, just kind of explaining to you guys what whatchamacallit, where was I going with that, on the different platforms that I've been using. So Iron Beam is like a really discount type of futures broker. It's a there we go. It's a very discounted futures broker, and quite honestly, their charting platform is quite horrific. Their drawing tools this is all they have: a line tool, fan lines, and retracement lines. So you could already tell how extremely limited the drawing. This is for actual charting and trading. Now, what I ended up doing was I did speak with customer service on deep charts and explain to them, if I want to trade a live cash account on deep charts, what are the options that I have? And they said any broker that has a CQG or a rhythmic connection can connect to deep charts minus NinjaTrader Trade-of-8. So if you have a NinjaTrader Trade-of-8 live account, you can't connect to deep charts. So that got me thinking. I went into the Iron Beam resources, and I remember having a contact at Iron Beam when I set up my account. Guy was really nice, but it was about maybe 2-3 years ago. So I emailed him, emailed me right back, and I ended up setting up a CQG connection with Iron Beam. That's in the works right now. I had to pay an extra $40 for level 2 data because with deep charts, I am going to need... Sorry, I'm showing you guys the wrong chart here. This is the Iron Beam account. With deep charts, you're going to need level 2 to really get a lot of the benefits of the pretty advanced tools that they have. So I ended up funding this account, put an extra $5,000 into this account, so that balance is at $64.49. They took out, if you guys remember, I was at $700, but they took out already the data feed and the connection. I think it's $10 a month that I got to pay extra for the CQG, so it's a little expensive. But I figured I'd give it a shot, and so I'm going to connect this Iron Beam account to my deep charts platform, and I will be able to trade, obviously, prop and at least a live cash account. So that's kind of the plan. Now I'm just waiting for that CQG connection to be completed with Iron Beam so that I can make the implementation here. And then we'll be able to, I guess, really take a good deep dive into the charting platform. Now, let me take a few steps back on what customer service said that kind of weirded me out. So when you go to do the install, they give you different versions of the platform that you can install. They've got a stable version. They've got, and we talked about this yesterday, a stable version, a latest update version, which just means that it's past beta, but it's not, has not been moved to stable. And then they have a beta version. Customer service recommends that that you download the beta version of deep charts to get all of the functionality that we're seeing and a lot of the kind of bug fixes. And I'm just very curious to see if they're going to be some of the bug fixes that I've already seen. But very clearly in very bold writing, it says if you're going to be trading on a live cash account, to trade this on the stable version. Fine. So I downloaded the stable version. Actually, which is the one that I already had. I already had stable on here. And it does give you like the bubbles. I've been kind of having a hard time with the bubbles, to be honest with you. They're very, very small, and I've been messing around with the settings. I don't even think you could see them here or not. Let's see if I can add these indicators. So now that I have upgraded the version, now you can see all of the premium indicators. So everything that Fabio uses, pretty much everything. And I did mess around. I did look at everything. Honestly, there's really not much there that super interests me. I will say one thing that's very interesting to me. His deep effort indicator, which he only says it's valid on the NQ, is extremely close to how I find my unbalanced volume. It's off by a bit. I'm not sure exactly, because you can't change any of the settings on this one, on this deep effort. But based on where I draw my unbalanced volume areas, they're very close. They're extremely close. So it's a little interesting. I'd love to be able to see his methodology for this. It doesn't work on the ES for some reason, which, again, my strategy works on really any instrument. And I'm just assuming that he only trades the NQ, so maybe that's why it's there. But anyways, my reasoning for this was to, let me add deep trades in here. And you guys can see the bubbles, but the bubbles, you know, I don't know, they seem extremely small to me. I mean, you guys could probably not even see this on the screen. And I know there's a way to get them bigger. I'm working on another one that's kind of off the chart here, that I've increased the size of these. But then I also don't know if increasing the size, it also takes away the accuracy of the actual bubble. So it's kind of a mixed bag there so far on that. And then the part that weirded me out was for me to use their deep dom, which is their heat map. And again, my whole reasoning is if this is as good as if the heat map is as good as Bookmap, then I can just cancel my membership with Bookmap, and it might end up even costing me a little bit less this route. Well, not fully because of the data feed that I had to get and some of the things that I had to do to make this work with the cash account. But it's pretty similar in pricing. So, but the deep dom, which is their heat map and a lot of other tools that they offer, it's an add-on. So I had to pay an extra $400 for a lifetime, because otherwise it was like $30 per month. And I'm like, that's stupid. Why am I gonna spend $39 a month or just pay the $400 up front? And it's a lifetime. So the issue here is that to install the deep dom, you have to be on the beta version. So they don't have an actual stable version of the deep dom yet. It's kind of like it's been put out to traders for them to try it out and to see, you know, if there's any quirks and everything. And I guess the two systems run parallel with each other. So Deep Charts and the Deep Dom. But they both have to be set to the beta version for them to work properly. I guess for all the charts to sync up and stuff like that. So I currently do not have the Deep Dom to show you. And the only reason is that I am attaching a live account to this, and based on their recommendation of staying on the stable platform, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Sorry, I was just kind of noticing something really strange too. So take a look at this ES chart. This is my NinjaTrader chart on the ES. Oh, maybe because I'm looking at it like that. Oh, something's not right here. All right, so take a look at this ES chart on the 2-minute, and then take a look at the deep chart. It's nowhere near the same candlestick This is a down with a big wick. Up, down, up. When you switch over to NinjaTrader, these are... Deep Charts has got this as a down candle right now. What am I doing wrong here? What the hell is that? That's weird. That is very... And the NQ's off too. I don't know. That's a little concerning. But the price is right. Like it's at... Actually, no, it's not at the right price. So I got to be delayed or something here because the ES right now is at the 74.37. Deep Charts is at 74.32 on the ES. So there, I guess there's some kind of delay right now on this data feed. Which again, the data feed that I'm currently using is with that blue sky. Oh. That's because I don't have... I wasn't connected, sorry. Alright, let's see if it updates here now. Oh, okay. We are good now. That was my fault. Now they're matching up. Right. No, the issue was even though the broker showed blue sky up there, when I went into the main control panel, the connection was not active, so I had to go back in and turn it on, refresh the charts, and it's back to the same. This still looks dumpy to me here. So the ES has got a seller unbalanced volume at the 74.68 to the 74.63 that I'll be interested in if we can kind of get back up there. On the NQ, That's got a nice little reaction to it. And then let's take a look on the 60. So they kind of balance this out right here, right? So I think the best area of some unbalanced volume sitting is right here. Reaction zone. Point of control sitting down here. Could be a target. This could be a target. Morning, Nordic. Ty, good morning. Paul. English, I think I already said good morning, but good morning. William, Steve, good morning. Let's see if these buyers that stepped in here, let's see if they get absorbed here. Another thing I can't do for the life of me is I can't get text on the... I can't get text on any of these bubbles. I've been messing around with that. I don't know if it needs the level 2 data to give me the actual number of volume. I don't know. I can't figure that part out, how to get the actual numbers. Nordic, that was last night. Last night I took a short on the ES. Let's see where this guy was at. Right here. This is my short from last night on the ES. It was dicey. I was in some drawdown. I was like instantly in like 4 points of drawdown. But, and what I've already kind of stated, I had some unbalanced volume sitting right here, which is where my target, where I took off. But this was my ultimate target down here. And I went to break even once I think it was like 3 points in profit, which was sitting like right here. We would have never tapped into it, but it is nice that at least I do have the bubbles come up in real time. I do like that. And I still got to mess around with the settings, I think, here. I'm not too comfortable that my settings on my deep trades are correct. And again, I don't really know if it's because my level 2 data is missing. But I can only set this to aggregated right now. If I go in and change the deep trade settings to like volume or order, I don't see anything. I can't get a bubble to show up for the life of me. So right now it's just on aggregated trades, which is not the way that I would like to trade the bubbles. It's not how in my Ninja Trader, these are just buying big buy orders, big sell orders, individual. So, and again, this was all kind of done last night, so I didn't really get enough time to go over a lot. Now, they do have a pretty nice kind of learning center. So, but there is a shit ton of videos there, so I don't know when I'll get a chance to go kind of sit through those. Damn, Nordic, I thought you said get a job. I'm like, I don't think you can have more jobs than I do. So you ended up in the green. Yeah, so I was down pretty good yesterday. Obviously at the 5 o'clock open, everything gets reset back down to 0. And then I took that trade. I think the trade was at like, I don't know, probably around 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night. So yes, slightly green, even with the debacle from yesterday. I mean, this should fail here. We should break down here. It's just, this is the first time you're really starting to see buyers really stepping in here. Again, both the NQ and the ES are starting to see somewhat of support here from buyers down here. Just making me a little... Short probably would have worked out right there. Back to the POC. Yes, it did. $29,833. Let's see what you're seeing. $29,833. $29,833. 858. All right, yeah, we're pretty close to, you're kind of in between this area right here. Todd, you're kind of in this area right here. I like it. We got news at 8:45. Got some PMI news at 8:45s. J-Liv's like, can't really comment too much on Blue Sky yet because I'm still just in the eval phase on it. And I believe I am down because did take a loser yesterday. Blue Sky. Yeah, I am slightly down on this eval. Currently, I'm sitting at 1482 of profit, so like 50% there. Has anybody used, anybody in the chat, anybody used Phoenix Trader Funding? Got some interesting offerings. I just have never, you know, I really had never heard of them. But they do have some, oh, the one thing that I did not like when I was reading up on them is you're locked into a platform. Yeah, that's the issue that I saw there. They've got some very interesting offerings on, it's called Phoenix Trader Funding. I think I told you guys when Lucid first came out, I from the get-go, the first month that they launched, I knew that they were going to be something special. I think they filled the void that Top Step left by getting rid of Trade-of-8 connections, and I don't know. I don't see them being stopped. I think they are going to become the the top firm for the long-term future. Did you guys see the podcast of the trader that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago in regards to his strategy on the equilibrium of the first prior minute to the market open? He was on Titans of, what's it called? Titans of Tomorrow or Titans of Trading? Super unique individual. It was actually I suggest you guys to watch the podcast. It was really good. It was actually kind of funny because his strategy is so extremely simple that the host could not even grasp how this guy's taken $1.8 million in payouts. And he was, the host was like, well, are you looking for, accumulation, distribution, phase, what is it that you're, and the guy's like, I don't even know what that means. It was a really good interview. He's just a math guy. He's a quant guy. Super smart. Yeah. Yeah, he was on Titans of, I think it's called Titans of Tomorrow, which I usually watch. I do like the other guy, Words of Wisdom, I think it's called. I just like that he does the chart fanatics, and I like when they actually do like live charting, which is the one thing that I think this guy's kind of missing. Let me go to my history here and see if I can put the link in here. History. There's the link. There's a link to the video. Wisdom is the one that had some busted phonies. I don't know what you mean by that, but I don't know. I've probably been watching him for about 4 or 5 months. I really liked the video he did with Fabio. I like the ones that he's done with what's the guy's name, that the order flow guy. We were just talking about him, where he mainly looks for imbalances in the order book. I can't remember the guy's name, but I don't know, the stuff that I've seen, these guys look like they understand what they're doing. I don't know what phonies, unless it happened prior to when I started watching them, but every guy that that I've seen them interview seems to know what they're doing. And the one thing in this game is you can't stop learning. It's like almost any profession. I mean, you know, unless you're in a super niche profession, but like you're constantly, even if you're a brain surgeon and all you're doing is operating on brains every day, you're constantly learning about, you know, what's coming out, what's new, what might help you in your path. So if it's with me or if it's someone that you resonate with, I mean, I think it's worth it to explore what other people are doing that, at least from the outside, seems successful. Now, to truly know what's going on behind the scenes on everybody, it's I think that's a kind of a difficult proposition, but I did finally get rid of all three of, well, I blew two of them yesterday. So I had those three 300K Apex evals that I've been trading with on my groups. They've been the leaders of each one of my groups probably since like January. And I ended up canceling the reoccurring subscription on Apex for those three, as I don't really need them anymore. As of right now, I don't need them because now I'm trading everything on the NQ and the ES. So I'm not cross trading right now to the micros. And I am currently just, my leader is my cash account. So I'm kind of back to like square one with where I was trading at pre-live YouTube live stream. It's a little bit more hairy on some of the PAs and lucids. And then I did end up blowing the two 300Ks yesterday. They were 15,000 in profit, which is what I really thought that my target was 15. And then I realized about a week ago that I needed to make $20,000. And the clock was starting to kind of run out on those because I had canceled those reoccurring subscriptions maybe a couple weeks ago and just left myself with one leader because I've been trading pretty much all my accounts now kind of together. And yesterday there's a $4,000 end of trailing drawdown on those trades. I ended up losing like $5,000 on each one of those, but they were like, I think I was trading 5 contracts on all those trades yesterday. And if you guys watched the trading yesterday, it wasn't great. Even though I went back and I looked back at the trades that I ended up taking. One, I ended up moving my stop loss to 10 points in profit, which is kind of a dumb idea because it ended up hitting my 40-point target. I had I think my third trade, we got stopped out by a point just to see it go to the 40-point target. So that was like 2 trades that could have just absolutely changed the trajectory of yesterday's trading session. And then I took kind of a stupid trade as my last trade in the in the session, which is the one that really got me. That's the one that blew the 300Ks, because they ended up being like negative 5,000. So even though they were 10 grand in profit, they hit the trailing drawdown. I hit my max loss on like 4, not max loss. I hit my daily loss on like 4 out of the 5 new Apex evals that I took out. So I bought that batch of 5 with the end of day trailing drawdown, just to fill in the 4 PA legacies that I lost maybe about a month and a half ago. But those are still all in profit. Those are at, in fact, I was 1 trade away from passing all of those. So those are all in profit at 51,185, 205, 079. So they're all in the same ballpark. But my leader account now is my cash account. Which I ended up taking a pretty significant loss yesterday on the cash account. That account was down, I think all said and done, I think it was down $950 yesterday. I do have a daily loss limit set on NinjaTrader on my risk settings to $850, I think. So it didn't, I must have been in that last trade where the daily loss didn't hit until I think it closed out the trade. It did. I don't think it, and I might have closed out the trade. So I don't know. I saw so many messages yesterday on my trading that I'm sure one of them was my live account saying it hit my max, whatever they call it, daily limit. Tiger, I made 40% of that back on that cash account. Made about 55% of that back. But today's a new day. Be nice to take some. Be nice to take 2 40-point bangers today. It's a very good start. Yeah. No, I was happy with my read last night on the ES, but I was not happy with, and there are some other circumstances to that. Like I said, I was talking to I was FaceTiming with a few of my buddies, and while I was actually in that trade, just kind of watching it, And like I said, I believe that trade was around 8:30. I had to go pick up my daughter from travel volleyball last night. I had to pick her up at 9, and it was about half an hour away. So I was kind of under the gun. Let's see. I could have swore I thought it was at around 8:30. I took that trade. Let's see. Yeah. Oh no, 7:45. No, but it was when it closed out. It was around 8:20. So I know I was kind of under the gun, and the only thing I didn't like was the fact that I just didn't keep it to target. So my target was sitting, I think it was right smack here. And again, it's just one of those, I think, psychology issues of trading. You know, you're maybe trading P&L instead of trading the chart. Heavy consolidation here on both the NQ and the ES. Like even this short, you know, I was contemplating a short right here, and I mean this would just be brutal price action to be kind of sitting in, with the stop sitting somewhere right around here. Sorry, Holy Earth, I missed your comment there. So Wisdom had to change his methodology for who to allow because phonies got through. Oh, okay. So so you're saying that was an issue prior. Like I said, I probably started watching that I don't know what you call it, a show, a podcast, probably like 4 months ago. Carmine, that's the name, yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Nordic. Nordic says JJ Strat is legit. Yeah, I trust me, I look at it almost every single day. I think part of his strategy is that continuation. The continuation over the last like couple weeks would have absolutely destroyed the first trade, but his mean reversion setup is not bad. It's got a good hit rate. But you also have to understand that that strategy is really tailored to prop firms. And that's why I think if you really spend some time into looking at his strategy, he says it many, many times that he will not trade that on a live account. Now you could say, well, if it's profitable, if he's taking payouts, why doesn't it work on live? It's very simple. His win rate, so he expects to take a cash out between in yesterday's video he first started saying 5%, so 5% of all of his funded accounts his expectation is to take a payout. Towards the end of the interview, he was saying it was closer to like, I think 20 or 25%. But on average, he's purchasing, I believe he said either 50 to 100 evals a month. And his pass rate on the evals were, I think, 30%. So he's failing 70% of his evals. He's failing 70%, or he's blowing 70% of his funded accounts. It's based on numbers. So it's based on, he's taking about 20 trades per day, and he aggregates his trades, which is smart. I think it's a very smart method. I've taught you guys that method as well, kind of staggering your accounts. So he takes one trade per account every day, and he takes 20 individual trades. So none of them are copy traded. They're all individual trades. He trades 3 different sessions: Asia, London, the New York Open, the New York the Globex Open. So you can't consider that to be a strategy that you can use on live, because you don't have the flexibility of 70% on your losses. You don't have that flexibility there. Now you could be extremely selective on the trades that you want to take, but then you're not optimizing it for, and it's like he says, he's very transparent that it's optimized for prop firms. He has looked at every single angle of the drawdown, the rules, the consistency. He's got very static targets, very static stop losses. He's not looking at market structure. He's not looking at order flow. He's not looking at volume profile. He's not looking at VWAP, Bollinger Bands. He's not looking at any of that. It's a very, very simple mechanical strategy. And he even says it. He wants to trade it until his edge is gone, and he says the edge will be gone eventually. So, and he just wants to capitalize on it as much as he can while he can. No, Nordic, he is not copy trading. He does not copy trade any accounts. Now he will copy trade. He will copy trade his funded to like an eval. So it's 1-to-1 always. So if he trades a funded account, he'll trade 1 eval with that same trade. So it's 20 trades per day on 20 funded accounts, 20 eval accounts. So no one trade is going to destroy him because he's got big targets and big stop losses, and he's trading them on the E-mini. But you can't do that on a live cash account. He even says your risk to ruin is very high. So you also got to look at the strategy and then also look at, okay, what is this strategy really tailored to? My strategy is maybe a little bit more boring. And, you know, it's bell curve, I guess we call it, or equity curve is probably, you know, a little zigzaggy, but it's gradually always on the incline. Now, obviously, now I've scaled up to pretty much all minis, so things should be coming hopefully a lot faster and quicker. But there's also more, you know, you take 2 bad days and 2 or 3 bad days and you're pretty close to blowing some fundeds. So Tiger Trades says, I don't understand how all the prop firms trading works and makes money. You can go in with 20 micro mini contracts and make money. The market won't move on your entry or exit. Who is paying the money? Oh, it's a very simple model. Very, very simple model. It's quite genius. So you've got this little group of traders that are funded, okay? You've got this big group of people that are in evals. Okay? There might be 1,000 people in this group. There might be 30 people in this group. Okay. Now on these evals, you've got 1,000 people in here. Let's say on average they spend, I don't know, between activation, it varies per firm, but let's just say, to make things easy, $100. Make just the money easier. If you do the math, which we will, 100 times 1,000 is 100K. So the prop firm over here on this side is making $100,000 on everybody that's in this group right here. Now they do have to pay maybe, we'll make it high. We'll make this number high, but let's say they have to pay 10% of these 30 people over here, and I'm telling you that's high. So let's say out of these 30 people, 20 of them will blow their funded accounts. 10 of these people will actually request a payout. And in a month's time, let's just, again, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. These 10 people here request $2,500 each. Okay. Prop firm now is out on these people $25,000. But they have brought in revenue $100,000. And this cycle just continues every single month, every single month, every single month. The prop firm's goal is for this number here to be lower than this number right here. It's the only game. It's the only model that works with prop firms. Now, when a company identifies a trader that is extremely profitable, they then kind of fit rules to kind of tame that a little bit. So they will they will say, okay, well, you have been, you're skewing the numbers on this side because maybe instead of a $2,500 payout, you took a $10,000 payout, and you're starting to do that consistently. They might then move you to live account, where in that scenario, now they take the prop firm, will take, remember how they had that 100K profit over here? And they had about, on that example, they were making about 75K in profit. So what they might do to limit the exposure of the really good traders is they might say, okay, well, out of this 25 grand, we're going to take 10,000 of this money, and we're going to set up this really good trader, which might, out of those 10 people that took a payout, there might only be maybe 1 or 2 of them that fit this model here. And they might, the company might give this guy or girl, 10 grand in live funds to trade the markets with a split. Okay, some of them have a split, some of them don't. But that's a true prop firm business model. The prop firms were built off of this model. You find the 1 or 2 amazing traders, and the prop firm then grants them live capital to trade the markets, and the prop firm makes money by how successful these people are. Okay, because if they turn that $10,000 into 100K, okay, the prop firm is making, let's just say, between $10,000 and $20,000 off that split in real live capital. And now they have already covered their 10,000 that they gave this live trader. And this live trader now doesn't have the opportunity of maybe taking 5 accounts and taking them all to a $10,000 payout and then having that risk of a $50,000 payout in the future. So that's how, this is one model on how prop firms can kind of keep the extremely successful and profitable traders, they can keep them with a controlled risk by offering them a live account. Now, these 2 traders could blow the 10 grand, and that 10 grand is gone for the prop firm. So there's risk there on both sides. Can't say prop firms are the devil or they're terrible. It's an opportunity, it's an opportunity that many of the traders before our time didn't really have. This looks really dumpy. All right, 2 minutes here for the market open. Let me go see why. Let me go see why. Let me go refill my coffee. I'll be right back. So like Nordic, perfect example here of his continuation play here. You know, this would first trade here would have been a loss. And what he's looking at is he's looking at the first minute, the open of the first of the 829 candle. So the close of that was right here. So that's his equilibrium. And then what he's looking for is a movement outside of this equilibrium, and then looking for a break of structure back into this equilibrium over here. And he's got a set 25-point stop with a 38-point take profit. So if a setup occurs, I'll show you guys kind of what he's looking at. It's Joe. It's a little hard to go with the bulls right now. You know, they're gonna have to show me a break of a few key pieces of unbalanced volume. So, like on the NQ, for the bulls really to show me some strength, they got to get past at least the 3271. For me to start having some confidence in them. The ES has got a weekly band down here. Oops. Which is going to be super strong. Super hard for them to get through here. Let's see on the NQ. So the NQ, they just entered into this weekly band that I gave you guys. They did sweep this bottom here, but they have not really been able to break through on this weekly band. So this is a good area for buyers to step in. So an example here. The other strategy would be right here is a break of structure. So if he gets a candle closing below this, he would take a mean reversion down into equilibrium. And his only criteria is that it has to close below the break of structure. And I'll give you guys an example of a trade here. So this would be his normal stop and normal take profit. 25 points stop, 25 point take profit, or 38 point take profit. Stop hit. And he just repeats this until 10 a.m. He just keeps taking as many of these trades as he can, as long as it breaks structure. So I gave up $100 on my eval for strategy observation. All right, seller's getting absorbed here. Now again, if the buyers can push up through here, that's going to show a good amount of strength from buyers. Otherwise, it's going to show exhaustion here by buyers. ATR is pretty healthy at 46. This would be your next break right here. So again, if you get another candle that breaks underneath this 29,738, again, just taking another trade to equilibrium. I think he gives himself like, I think up to 5 trades before 10 a.m. Central. It does, yeah, Tiger. I do. I get it all the time, actually. I get a message saying Blue Sky is reconnecting. I don't know if that's the platform or if that's just the DX feed from... prefer to tap right there, but that got missed by about 4 points. It's kind of a weak flip there, but area is defending pretty well. Well, see, my strategy was a winner. This strategy won. Just having a limit order set right there is probably the smart play to do. But again, price action was it's pretty damn volatile right now, so. But nice rejection there of unbalanced volume. So $242 on that one. So made up the loss on that that other one I was showing you guys on. Where I'd really like to make the money is over here. Do-do-do-do-do. Buyers are going through some, they're they're definitely going through some unbalanced volume here, and they're chewing it up pretty good. So they've got an area they're pumping from here, huh? Let's see, what can we identify here? This all looks balanced out to me. So if we look at the 120, this is your start of your AVT right here. But 60 looks very congested, doesn't it? Right here, right here, right here. This has all been balanced out, at least in my opinion, how I see the market. So this to me is not bueno, even though we do have strong buyers, obviously, in this area. Nothing that I see that's pretty looking. Now, this here looks a little sexier. Let's see what that looks like. Right there. Not super great. Not super great. Not a great target. Not a great target. And just so you guys can understand what I'm looking at, here's your AVT. Oh, okay, well, point control sitting all the way up here. This is pretty unbalanced up here. On the higher time frame, this looks pretty good. Now we drop down to the 60. Doesn't look as good. But that's where I see unbalanced volume sitting at, down here. Actually, this doesn't look terrible. Let's put this into reaction zone. Let's pop in this guy here. I mean, we're definitely pumping, but reaction zone. Okay. What this looks like. Sellers absorbed right there. This is looking still really strong for bulls. We have news at well, I think we already went through news at 8:45. PMI. Let's see what else the market's doing here now. Oh, they are leaving some. They are leaving some areas here, huh? Oh, I do like that right here. Let's see. Maybe even like a little stronger pullback down to like right here. We're going to see a little bit of consolidation like right here. Or I should say a little bit of struggle. But if we can break through here, we got some real nice targets. It just looks like they're going to retrace like the entire move from yesterday. So let's see what the 120 is showing us here. 60. Oops. There we go. I don't know. This seems like a pretty safe spot right here. I just hope we have enough juice to get through this 29,868. That's my only little concern there. Trapping some sellers here. Or could it be buyer exhaustion? We'll see. Yeah, I gotta use the washroom. Guys, I'll be right back. Well, don't let the market come down here. Man, shorts are getting absolutely destroyed today here. Right back to 30,000. So I would say this run up here, it's going to start having a hard time somewhere right around here-ish. This is where it should start seeing some issues for the bulls. So we gotta be a little cautious here because we can obviously see that buyers got a little exhausted here on this move. So we could see a little bit of a retracement. We also are obviously at this key level at the 30,000s. So now the real question here is this just a healthy kind of pullback for a continuation back up, or are buyers truly exhausted here? And this is truly like the first piece of unbalanced volume that I see in this mix right here. So this is kind of like a testing ground for buyers here, but could be semi-risky just because, you know, this could have been an area where we do see a reversal, but we'll see right now what the bulls end up doing. Doesn't look like they're stopping here. The ES is doing a phenomenal job as well. This area did hold here, but I guess that could have been a trading opportunity. I'm not sure what the flips look like here on the ES. Yeah, that would have been tough. Tiger, to answer your question from... No, I'm sorry, it wasn't Tiger, it was J-Loves. You were talking about slippage with prop firms. It's all regulated, so it's based off of CME data. So if there's slippage in the market, you know, I mean, you've seen it, me trade. It's the same thing in my cash account or prop. You know, you're going to get slippage if volatility is extremely high and liquidity has left the market. But for the most part, it's regulated, so it's not like a CFD where CFD is completely different. The broker's really controlling your slippage and it's the best way to say it is the brokerage is acting like the market maker in their favor, of course. So when you're trading on prop firms, those are going to be, they're all regulated off of the CME, so you're getting the same data that you would on cash, or now your fills might be a little different. Obviously your fill is going to be easier on a sim account than it's going to be on a cash account. It's true liquidity. This isn't tradable for me here on a short, but this is also going to be a good piece of unbalanced volume here from sellers. So we'll see how the NQ reacts here. So Todd said bid-ask is fixed in the broker's favor, just like the betting markets. It's not the broker's favor. It's primarily the market maker's favor. That the variance between bid and ask is actually the market maker's profit. It's not necessarily the broker's profit. Like if you're on Schwab or Ninja Trader Broker, they're making money off of commission, not necessarily the bid-ask. The market makers are definitely making money on the bid-ask. That's their margin. And then when you see huge moves, I mean, we haven't really seen, you know, nothing like super crazy today, but like on headline news, something comes out on Iran and it jumps up 120 points. The bid-ask spread increases dramatically, but it's mainly because liquidity has actually left the market. And when you have an illiquid instrument, you're going to get crazy price action. And the market makers have to increase the bid-ask spread to account for that volatility. But they do not like that model. And they would much rather be in efficient markets like what we're seeing right now, even though we're pumping, I don't know, what's 500 points? 400 points. So Tiger said, it's good to know. Does this also apply to evals? I notice. Well, so you got to understand that evals are in a sim environment. And the fills are going to emulate the market conditions as best as they can, but it's not true liquidity. So, you know, you might get a fill on a eval that you might not get necessarily on a cash account. Now, where you will see slippage is like what I was talking about we've been in a market environment for almost 3 weeks straight, maybe minusing out the last like 5 days have been a little bit more peaceful. But prior to that, you know, if you were seeing slippage, it's not because, you know, Apex or, you know, the Apex is trying to screw you on your positions. It's truly because the wide spread between bid and ask. When markets are not efficient, the bid asks increase. That's why you will see in small cap stocks, crypto, you will see CFDs. You know, you'll see if the market you're trading or the instrument you're trading is not as liquid. Obviously, there's nothing as liquid as the ES, and then probably the YM, the NQ, and then the Russell. I would think in that same order. Those are going to be your most liquid instruments, which also means the most efficient. So your slippage, the slippage between bid and ask is going to be very, very small, typically. Like right now, bid and ask spread is 2 ticks. Maybe a tick. They're very, very efficient. Now, I have a dumb theory, which I don't even know if it's a proven theory of mine, but I do find Take Profit Trader, my balances and my trades do not seem to add up close to my cash account or my Apex or Lucid accounts. I don't know why. Again, it could just be, I notice it when something really glaring shows out. That could have been a nice short there, but kind of hard to short that. Nice flip right there too. Again, tough to short this market right now. Even though it would have given me my 40 points. So 23 is out. Let's take a look at this here. To the 13. Now, if we take a look at like Fabio's his orb strategy that he has, he would take a long bounce right here in this area if he sees absorption here. I'll mark this off a little different. All right, so initial balance is set. Get this out of the way because we don't need that. All right, let's take a look and see. So our IB is set. IB low is way down here. Okay. Sorry about that. So what are you thinking here? Sellers kind of getting kind of heavy here. Buyers got absorbed. Buyers tried to push. Sellers came in. I'd like to see them retest this down here. Well, so far, buyers cannot break through. If we go back to the wall right here, let's see if they can break through here or not. This would be the third attempt here. I don't know. It's looking a little more sketchy for buyers right now. don't know, are sellers taking back control here, or is this just a healthy retracement? This is the first piece of unbalanced volume here, so kind of a riskier play, but I'm not really liking the fact that they are balancing out so much here. Come on down. Come on down. They left this right here. Oh, they balance that out. Okay. Don't take that out just yet. Let's go. I think we got about a good healthy 25-point unbalanced volume here. Come down just a little bit more. Come down just a little bit more. Don't do it right there. Don't do it right there. Let's go. A little bit, little bit, little bit. Shit. This is the spot. Just a good amount of selling pressure, man. I don't know. Volume did come in, but they pretty much absorbed it right there. I really thought we'd get a bounce right there. Yeah, this is looking very strong for sellers right now. All right, I'll be looking for a possible short if we can get into this. If we could tap into this 29.12, between the 29.12 and the 29.22. 9.22, I'm sorry. It's kind of hard to jump into any retracement here. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Coming in quick here, huh? Let's see, that was a flipperoonie. Let's slow this down just a little bit. Let's see if we get something here on the... All right, I'm gonna take a short there. And let's bring this guy. Come on, give me a bounce. Come on, let's go down. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, sellers. Oh, come on. Oh, they knocked me out. God dang it, man. Had a really nice flip on the 20, on the 60 there. This is just unbelievable. This is all open. Fuck. Coming down for the 863s. These pullbacks have just been killing me lately. Absolutely killing me. I don't know, guys. I'm trying my best here, but this is just absolutely incredible. Very, very frustrating. Just don't understand what the need was of this right here. Saw zero need for that. need a little pause there. This looks like we might range right here for a little bit. What's the ES doing? ES price action looks like shit coming down here though. I mean, this is all balanced out. Nothing I could do on the ES. Come on, come straight down. Don't. Being a real pain in my ass here. Come on. So obviously we got two competing bands. We've got sellers right here and we've got buyers right here. Killing me. All right, I'm gonna take a stab short there. I know this stop needs to be a little higher, but Go to break even. See if we can get a dump. Let's go. Come on. One time. Come on. Don't stop here. Let's go. You guys suck. You guys are really killing me here today. Thanks a lot. Just can't get it done. I cannot get it done. And this is why I prefer price action to just kind of go right to entry instead of all this garbage, because this kind of balances everything out. It makes it a little bit more tricky for impulsive moves, which is what I prefer. We're gonna have to get one of these, aren't we? One of these is gonna have to work in our favor. What the fuck? You expect it to go down to 29,810. We're already under 810. 810's right up here. If she drops here, she's going to go right into this unbalanced volume area right here. And I'd prefer the move to be aggressive into it. Good flips on the 120. Okay, good negative delta. I'll take a shot there. And bring it. Come on. Let's move. Let's move. Unbelievable. Oh, man, I just cannot catch one. Now you're gonna do it, aren't you? All right, I'm chasing here now, but I'm gonna give this just a little bit of room. Come on, give me continuation. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know if that's a good target or not. Oh my lordy. Come on. Come on. You're gonna do it to me, aren't you? All right. Well, I tried cutting it off there, but now. Okay. Are we still on this one? All right. Put my stop above where price action was at. Come on, give me a bounce. Let's go. Come on, one time. Cutting it at 9. Not moving it. Oh, Lord. All right. I am done. I am done. So this was my thinking right here. I don't know. Could be fighting the trend. This is just fucking crazy. All right, switch over. I'm just on cash right now. PAs, evals, they're all up negative $800 each. Cash is down 400. All right, YouTube, I think I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to continue on here with my signal group for a little longer and see what I can do. I will see you guys tomorrow. Sorry, trading's been shit the last 2 days.